Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of 2 college athletes. He has a wealth of experience to share. Here's Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 367 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is the world's longest-running athletic recruiting podcast and provides you with a weekly 15 minutes that will change your recruiting future. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is part of the Recruit Me Education Company. Recruit Me's goal is to provide as many free and inexpensive recruiting resources as possible. Stay tuned at the end of this episode and I'll go over how you can take advantage of these recruiting resources. Today's episode is part 1 of a 3-part series that answers the 3 top most asked questions about athletic recruiting. The 3 questions that will be covered are, number 1, when do I start my recruitment? Number 2, how do I start my recruitment? And number 3, what do I do to get recruited? Let's get started answering these common questions. Today's episode is the 3rd episode in a 3-part series on the 3 top questions asked about recruiting. The question of what do I do to get recruited is a loaded question and generally isn't asked without the other 2 top questions. In episode 365, top question number 1 covered when do I start my recruitment? And I covered the multiple angles on this question. Your timing of where you are in high school influences this question. To boil it down, the best time to start is as you enter your freshman year of high school. And if you're past that point of time, then the best answer is start now. Go back and listen to episode 365 to get started. Then episode 366 was top question number 2. How do I start my recruitment? The how-to of starting is the same for almost all prospective student athletes, but most times you have to speed up the process. The 7 steps to an athletic scholarship is the keystone to Recruit Me, and you could take advantage of those 7 steps in the Recruit Me 3.0 athletic scholarship system. Go to recruit-me.com to get more information about the Recruit Me 3.0 system. I'll give you more information at the end of this episode. Step number 1 of the 7 steps is to select the right schools to contact. Episode 366 covered many of the layers of this step. Creating a list of parameters and then a list of colleges and coaches to contact will set you up well for the time that you are a legitimate college prospect. So now, episode 367 covers how do you get recruited. The remaining steps to an athletic scholarship take you by the hand and lead you on the recruitment path. Take your parameters and your research school list and be ready to marry them with your newly written and put together introductory packet. The last 2 episodes that covered the when to start and the how to start aspects of the recruiting process mentioned multiple times that the best time to start is as you enter your freshman year of high school. And if you are past that point, the best time to start is again now. This episode picks up right after you have built your parameters list and your initial college school list, which is step 1 of the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship. Steps 2, 3, and 4 are steps that you start as prep work before you start contacting college coaches and before they start contacting you. If you are later in high school, you need to speed up the process and have these 3 steps done. Step 2 is write a great introductory email. Step 3 is create a 1-sheet player profile. And step 4 is build your own personal recruiting questionnaire. In episodes 315 and 316, I refer to these as the 3 amigos. These 3 tools work together to get a college coach's attention. Step 2 of the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship walks you through how to write a great introductory email and why this step is so important. The why it is so important is because this is normally the first impression on a college coach. This is a good handshake. After coming from the car sales industry, I learned very early how important a good handshake and introduction was in business. And just like a good handshake, there are good, basic practices you need to perform for an impressional handshake. But every handshake is not the same to every customer. I met and sold vehicles to young men, young women, newlyweds, new parents, professional men, professional women, retired men and retired women, people with a lot of money and people not with a lot of money. I worked with car buying veterans and first-time buyers. With all of these different types of people and different situations, I couldn't shake everyone's hand the same. I had to make adjustments for each person to make a good, solid, friendly, impressive impression. The introductory email has the same basic makeup, but your research on a college, a program, a town, and a coach will let you tailor each introductory email to the handshake you need. Before I get into the basics of step number 2, I wanted to acknowledge a question that I get often. Why can't I just contact college coaches online with their online recruiting questionnaire link? I will cover that when we get to step 4 about the recruiting questionnaire. The 5 basics of an introductory email are listed and expanded in step 2 of the Recruit Me 3.0 system. Here are the 5 basics. Number 1, make it your email. Number 2, make it brief. Number 3, choose your words carefully. Number 4, tell the truth. And number 5, be interesting. The email flow should look like this: 5 paragraphs or sections. The first is your who, what, where, and when. Introduce yourself and your intentions with a 1-sentence opening paragraph. Here is an example. I am a junior at Ozark High School in Ozark, Missouri, and I am interested in competing at Columbia College in 2025. The second paragraph are your athletic abilities. Briefly tell about 3 or 4 of your athletic accomplishments and impressive stats from your recent seasons. If you have participated in or received honors in other sports, mention them. Here is an example. Because of my athletic abilities, I have been used as an all-around player. This summer, I played catcher and first base in addition to pitching. We played a 60-game schedule and traveled throughout several western states. I finished with a 4-3 record on the mound and a batting average of .322. The third paragraph is personal information. Write why you compete in your sport. Here's an example for you. Basketball has been my favorite sport since 5th grade. I love competing year-round. I am looking forward to this season more than any other because my high school team has a shot of reaching the state Final Four. I am excited about the season. The fourth paragraph is what you are doing currently. For instance, right now I am playing on a high school travel team that competes against junior colleges and scout teams in Southern and Central California. I realize that academics are a high priority and I have kept on top of my grades, maintaining a 4+ GPA. The fifth section is how. How will you benefit the team that you are writing to? What will you bring to the program with your abilities, skills, character, and work ethic? Write something like this. I would bring to the Ohio State program strong abilities as a pitcher and a position player, a quality work ethic, and a willingness to spend time to improve. It is my dream to lead a college team to a championship. This is your template, your basic handshake. But don't forget to adjust for each contact that you make to a college coach. Go back on your research of each school on your personal school list. Make sure and get the coach's name correct. Use a mascot, the team's colors, the conference, the city or the town in your email. Recruit Me then recommends that you send your introductory email along with your player profile. Recruit Me states that you are recruitable when you complete your player profile. Step 3 of the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship is to build your player profile. You can get a player profile template for free by signing up for the free Recruiting Power Pack on recruit-me.com. This player profile is going to be your resume. Match your resume with a quality handshake, and you have a tremendous 1-2 punch. The template will guide you to fill out 10 sections. Section number 1 is your name. Section 2 is a short headline that jumps off the page, something like 87-mile-an-hour fastball and 3.6 GPA. Section 3 is listing your sports position or positions. Section 4 is about you and your family. You will give your home address, phone numbers, your recruiting email, and website or social media contacts, if you have them. You will include your year of birth, your year of graduation, the number of people in your family, and the number of family members in college. You'll also add your GPA and your ACT or SAT scores. In Section 5, you will list your high school coach or coaches, the school's office phone number, your club or organizational coaches, and their contact information. Be sure to ask all your coaches permission to give out their email and phone numbers. Section 6 is your physical information, your height, your weight, your speed, strength, and dominant hand or foot. Section 7 is a narrative summary of your general strengths, as well as team and league information. You can also mention other sports that you play. Section 8 is another narrative of specific stats and achievements. This is where you brag on yourself. Tell the coach about your achievements, your awards, and your high-level stats. Section 9 is a couple of lines about your potential. Tell the coach what you're expecting to do in the incoming year of high school or club. This is a good time to throw in a quote from a coach. And then Section 10 of the player profile is a picture of you. Recruit Me likes a picture of you out of a sports uniform and looking as young as you can. The dynamic duo of your introductory email and your player profile, coupled with your research of your school list, is how you get recruited. Send these two resources to colleges on your list. You will need to continually research and update both your school list and your introductory email and player profile. Step 4 of the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship is build your own recruiting questionnaire. This is a quick follow-up to your introductory packet that you just sent. Instead of filling out all the online recruiting questionnaires, send your own to help you stand out over all the other prospective student athletes. Building your own questionnaire will not only make you stand out, but it will save you time. Filling out a recruiting questionnaire for every school takes time. Send your personal questionnaire a few days after you sent your introductory packet. If a coach requests for you to still go online and fill out their recruiting questionnaire, or if you feel you want to go ahead and fill it out, then you already have all the information at your fingertips. Most online questionnaires ask for the same information. Step number 5 of the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship is to track your communications. Part of your pre-work should be to build or organize the way you're going to track both outgoing and incoming communications with college coaches. Recording and tracking your communications will help you to re-communicate with coaches, update your school list, remember what you talked about with the coach, and what your impressions were about the coach and the school. All of this is to help you make a decision for your eventual best fit. Tracking your communications leads to step 6, which is to send updates to stay connected to the schools still on your list. Remember to communicate to schools that you have taken off your list and don't burn bridges. The first 6 steps leads you to step 7. Make your school choice wisely. No matter when you start your recruitment, some version of these steps need to be performed. I see families asking over and over again what to do to get recruited, and many spend countless hours worrying and then paying a lot of money to a service. Recruit Me is not a service. It is a plan to get you in control of your recruitment. If you are in sports, you know that you control your development, your training, your performance. Take control of your recruitment. The Recruit Me 3.0 system has worked for over 20 years, and it worked for both of my sons to get them to a college program, that they fit both academically and athletically. If Parker and Sutton had not set parameters, built a school list, written an introductory email and profile, and sent to college coaches on their list, they wouldn't have ended up at their respective schools, or may not have even played in college. All I ask you to do is visit recruit-me.com and take advantage of the free resources, the free Recruiting Power Pack, the free Recruit Me monthly newsletter, and the free episodes of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. Take advantage of contacting me at brent@recruit-me.com with any questions or comments, and invest $39 in the Recruit Me 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System to give you control of your own recruitment. Get the 200-plus page manual, workbook, and worksheets right there on the recruit-me.com website. It is a logical step-by-step approach and proves that recruiting does not have to be confusing when you have a plan. Join me next week for another 15-minute episode that will change your athletic scholarship future.